All right, so I just bought my uh, daughter a car. It's an '07 Honda Civic. Everything's been great on the car. However, the AC was giving issues. I started by replacing the relay, which did get the compressor engaged again, which gave me the opportunity to check the Freon levels. Found it was way, way low. Charged the Freon. Had it blowing cold air for about 5 minutes when the compressor shut off again. So I've been finding some videos on YouTube that show this little trick. However, some of the videos aren't real easy to follow, so I'm going to try to make one that's really easy and we'll see if it works. So the first thing we have to do is get access to the compressor from under the car. So we got to take the front passenger wheel off, which I'm going to set myself up to do and do here shortly. All right, so here we are with the wheel off. You can see the compressor right there. That's what we're trying to get at. This little flap seems to only be held on by this little rubber tie, so I'm just gonna cut that off and flip that down and give myself access to it. All right, so right here is where the nut was that you're gonna have to get off. I found it to be a real pain in the ass to get in there with a ratchet wrench. What I ended up using that worked like a fucking charm was a swivel socket with an adapter right here. I got an adapter to go down to a smaller swivel with a 14 millimeter rather, on my air gun, and got it hooked up real nice on the angle with the swivel, and bing bing, a couple times that thing was right off. So pain in the ass with a ratchet. If you can get in there with a swivel and an air gun, it's super easy. All right, so we got the nut off. I'm about to remove the clutch cover, but I never talked about what got me to this point. So AC wasn't working. I looked and saw that the compressor wasn't engaging. So what that means is that all the belts are spinning, but this thing is not moving. When the AC is working, this thing should be spinning along with the belts. So the belts are all spinning, but this was just staying dormant. First thing you should always do is replace the relay. It's like $6. I don't know, actually no, I'll show you right now. Right here in your fuse box, center row, bottom one, that's the relay for your AC compressor. It's like a $6 part. Pull this out, put a new one in. If that doesn't work, and your Freon levels are good, then you'll get to where we're at here. So we're about to pop the clutch off here and remove this ring which causes the problem. All right, so with the nut off, should just be able to wiggle it. All right, there we go. As you can see, that is very dirty and rusty, so that is going to get cleaned. And if you look right there, you can see there's a little washer. So what I've learned is that washer is not necessary. We are going to remove it and not replace it. We're just going to clean the wheel and put a little grease on it, and supposedly that should make the clutch re-engage to the compressor and we should get strong AC. All right, so here is the little washer ring that supposedly causes all the problems in these Civic AC compressors. So we're gonna remove it. We're gonna get some 600 grit sandpaper and clean all the rust and shit off of the back of that. Put a little grease on it, and put it back together. I gotta make it quick to the hardware store though. All right, so here we have the clutch cover with some 600 grit sandpaper. As you can see, it's really bad. It's really rusty and corroded on there. So we're gonna try to clean that up as much as possible. And we're gonna put a little grease right there to replace the washer, which from all the research I've done, is not only useless but problematic. All right, so we've been at this for a good 5+ minutes. We've gone through 3 sheets. You can see it's really starting to clean up pretty good. I would recommend keeping your gloves on for this process. I did not, but yeah, starting to clean up. I'm going to keep sanding it a little bit. All right, so I went through the whole pack of sandpaper, really gave it some elbow grease. I think it looks significantly better. I don't know, it looks not as good as some of the ones I saw in video even at this point, but so ultimately we're going to just put some grease here. Sorry, I just want to get a little more and kind of put it there. And kind of my understanding is the washer that went there, like I said, was problematic, so you just put a little grease there and off we go. Let's see. So we're getting the cover back. Make sure you wiggle it in, and that it's all the way set right before you start to put the nut back on. You don't want it to not be straight, so, and you know, get it on, spin it, make sure it feels right, and then reattach the nut. All right, so I'm finger tightening the bolt kind of as much as I can. And then here's where I use my air gun with the swivel socket. I'm gonna do that again. You're gonna wanna be careful. I don't know how tight, I mean, you obviously don't want this thing super tight, I don't think, so we're gonna just put it on until we hear a couple clicks, and there we go. I think that's about as tight as I want it. It's rotating, so time to put the wheel back on. And well, actually, I guess I don't need to turn the wheel back on to start it up. Let's see. Look at that. We have an engaged spinning compressor. Give that a minute. See if she keeps blowing cold air. That is ice cold air, people. Ice cold. Beautiful.